They've been working to bring in the new system. It used to be quietly, but now it's right in front of your face. But I think it's important to understand more about what's happening and why it's happening and how to position yourself. What I'm about to share with you is my research. I've devoted my life to understanding microeconomics and the greatest wealth transfer in history. But obviously, do your own research. I want to use some logic to help you wrap your brain around what's actually happening. America is currently at 120% debt to income ratio. Digest that. So if it was us, we would be bankrupt. But America can just print money. The public can't. If you look at the Warren Buffett indicator, the stock market is overvalued by 230%. What does that mean? These are important factors you need to understand. The stock market is worth $69 trillion. The global GDP, America's GDP is at 36 trillion. So simplistically, what does that mean? The stock market is valued, which is companies, at 69 trillion. But the production of America is 36 trillion. So the gap between 36 and 69 is what? It's all fake, free money, credit, debt. You have a ton of companies that are surviving off cheap money and debt because they get bailed out. They get money cheap at the top. By the time it gets to us, it's extremely expensive. That's the key factor what I'm about to teach you. Money is cheap at the top. By the time it gets to us, it's expensive. So when it's printed at the top, Cantalones, it comes down to us. We pay the interest on it, the higher interest. They get it really cheap. And by the time it gets to us, it's a 23% credit card, 6% auto loan, 6% mortgage, 7% personal loan. So you have to understand that the money, by the time it gets to us, it's very expensive, and we are the cog in the wheel. We are what makes the engine go. Our debt, our materialism, our extending against our future selves is the system. So here's the issue for them. If we're the system, we have 1 trillion in credit card debt, American savings are drained, inflation is going through the roof, it's 2% higher than the 2% target at 4%. That means the cost of services are much higher. Most Americans cannot afford to live now. Then if we're the cog in the wheel, then who pays and keeps the system going if everything's debt? The system has to change. This is important. Now, my name is Coach JV. If I haven't met you yet, if you hit the follow button, I promise you I will be repetitively, annoyingly consistent in teaching you how the system works. I've helped over 15,000 people worldwide navigate this greatest economic shift in human history. I invented what's called the Capital DR system that teaches people, it's not investment, teaches people strategically and structurally how to navigate through these types of systems. Okay, so now we know we're at 130%, 120% debt to income ratio. We have more debt than we have income in America. We're bankrupt. Americans have 1 trillion in credit card debt. The savings accounts are draining in America. There's a private credit market that's completely collapsing right now because debt is no longer cheap. Remember, there's only debt in the system. We are the cog in the wheel. So the cog in the wheel cannot service their debt. They have to bring in a new system. We have a liquidity problem. So if you have a liquidity problem, a debt problem, and we are the cog in the wheel, and if we can't pay interest and we can't keep the system going, and we can't buy products, goods, and services, that means all the businesses will start to collapse. But wait,